Deep within the untouched Emerald Mountains of Guinea, where mist clings to the peaks and the jungle stretches as far as the eye can see, a new artery of global commerce is being forged, one that could reshape the world's supply chains and economic alliances. Here, China is building a 670-kilometer iron ore railway, an engineering marvel that winds through the wilderness, connecting the mineral-rich Simandou Mountains to the Atlantic coast. This is no ordinary infrastructure project. The Simandou Railway is a strategic corridor designed to unlock one of the world's richest iron ore deposits and integrate Guinea into China's vast Belt and Road Initiative, strengthening global supply chains and resource security. For years, Western companies saw only obstacles here: prohibitive costs, logistical nightmares, and political uncertainty. The dream of a trans-Guinean railway was shelved, a casualty of risk-averse geopolitics. But China's approach is different. Driven by a long-term infrastructure strategy, Chinese engineers and planners arrived with the ambition to transform Guinea's mining logistics and secure a new supply of iron ore for their booming steel industry. The Simandou Railway is more than just steel and stone. It's a bold move in the chess game of economic geopolitics, a demonstration of China's ability to deliver complex development projects and shift the balance of global resource flows. The stakes are enormous. Simandou's iron ore could disrupt a market long dominated by Australia and Brazil, giving China greater leverage over global steel production and reducing its dependence on distant suppliers. For China, securing a direct line to Guinea's resources is about more than economics. It's about national development, industrial security, and the resilience of its supply chains in an uncertain world. The construction itself is a feat of modern rail infrastructure. Thousands of workers, advanced engineering, and international collaboration overcoming some of Africa's toughest terrain to create a new logistics lifeline for mining exports. For Guinea, the railway promises jobs, infrastructure, and a new role in the global economy, but it also raises questions about environmental impact, sovereignty, and the influence of China's development model on African soil. As this iron dragon snakes its way to the sea, it carries with it the ambitions of a rising China, reshaping trade routes, forging new alliances, and redefining who controls the world's most vital resources. The Simandou Railway stands as a symbol of shifting global power, the reach of the Belt and Road Initiative, and the new realities of economic geopolitics in the 21st century. Its completion could mark a turning point, not just for Guinea and China, but for the entire world. This is the story of how a single railway is transforming mining logistics, global supply chains, and the future of iron ore transport. The Simandou story began with the ambitions of Western mining giants like Rio Tinto, who, for decades, held the keys to what many called the world's richest untapped iron ore deposit. These companies, with their deep pockets and global reach, saw Simandou as a crown jewel, an opportunity to reshape the global iron ore market and secure resources for generations. Their vision was bold and transformative. Not just a mine, but a sprawling industrial corridor, a state-of-the-art port on the Atlantic coast, and a trans-Guinean railway slicing through hundreds of kilometers of rugged terrain. It was to be one of Africa's largest and most ambitious infrastructure projects, promising jobs, development, and a new era for Guinea. But the staggering $20 billion price tag, combined with Guinea's chronic political instability, made even the most seasoned investors nervous. Boardrooms in London and New York filled with anxious discussions, as financial reports highlighted the mounting risks and uncertain returns. Delays became routine, government changes, shifting regulations, and fierce disputes over mining rights created a climate of uncertainty that stifled progress. Each new administration brought fresh negotiations, and the project's future seemed to hang in the balance. Under mounting pressure from shareholders to minimize risk, Western companies began to pull back. Plans were quietly shelved. Heavy machinery was left to rust, and once busy offices fell silent. The grand vision faded, replaced by a sense of resignation. For the people of Guinea, it was yet another broken promise. Hopes for jobs and prosperity were dashed, as the vast potential of Simandou remained locked beneath the earth, untouched and unrealized. The West's retreat was more than a business decision. It was a signal of the limits of private capital and high-risk, high-reward ventures. Investors grew wary and mining shares tumbled as confidence evaporated. The vacuum left behind was unmistakable. The old model of Western-led megaprojects driven by profit and short-term returns was faltering in the face of complex realities on the ground. Frustrated but undeterred, Guinea's leaders began searching for new partners, ones willing to take real action, not just make promises. The nation's future depended on finding investors with patience, vision, and the resources to see the project through. The Simandou dream was deferred, its promise lingering on the horizon. But for Guinea, hope remained alive. The mountain's riches still beckoned, waiting for the right moment and the right partner. The stage was set for a new player to enter, a nation with deeper pockets, a longer-term vision, and a willingness to take risks where others had faltered. Enter China. Where the West saw risk, China saw a strategic imperative. Chinese state-owned and private enterprises stepped in, aligning with Guinea's ambitions. Simandou fit perfectly into China's Go-Out policy and Belt and Road Initiative. China, the world's top steel producer, needed to diversify away from Australia and Brazil. The Chinese approach, state-backed banks, powerful SOEs, and a focus on long-term partnership. A new consortium, Winning Consortium Simandou, brought together Chinese, Singaporean, Guinean, and Rio Tinto interests. China led the charge on building the railway and port, breaking the deadlock. While the West hesitated, Chinese teams mobilized quickly, moving earth and laying track. This was more than a business deal, it was a demonstration of China's ability to deliver at speed and scale. Simandou's new chapter had begun. As of December 2025, the Simandou Railway is rapidly becoming a reality, transforming the landscape of Guinea and capturing the world's attention. What was once a vision on paper is now a massive infrastructure project, with construction teams working day and night to bring this ambitious plan to life. The railway stretches an impressive 670 kilometers, forging a vital link between the mineral-rich Simandou Mountains and a brand-new deep-water port on the Atlantic coast. This route not only opens up Guinea's vast interior, but also connects remote communities to global markets, promising new opportunities for trade and development. Designed as a multi-user corridor, the Simandou Railway will transport not just iron ore, but also agricultural goods, construction materials, and passengers. This versatility means the railway will serve as a backbone for Guinea's economy, supporting both industry and everyday life for local people. The project's timeline is ambitious and fast-paced. The first shipments of iron ore are targeted for late 2026, with teams racing to meet tight deadlines. Every milestone reached brings Guinea closer to a new era of prosperity and international relevance. The engineering challenges are immense. The railway includes 235 bridges and 12 tunnels, with the longest tunnel stretching nearly 11 kilometers through rugged mountains. These feats of engineering are setting new standards for infrastructure in West Africa. La Compagnie du Transguinéen, a joint venture between Guinean and international partners, operates the network. This partnership ensures shared access, efficient management, and a blend of global expertise with local knowledge. Guinea holds a 15% stake in the project, securing not only a share of the profits, but also a meaningful voice in key decisions. This ownership structure empowers Guinea to shape its own future and benefit directly from the railway's success. Tens of thousands of jobs have been created, with many Guineans gaining valuable technical skills and on-the-job training. The project is investing in local talent, building a workforce that will maintain and operate the railway for generations to come. The constant hum of machinery and the sight of progress signal a new economic era for Guinea. The railway is more than steel and stone. It's a symbol of hope, ambition, and transformation for the entire nation. The world is watching as this once-distant dream takes shape. With every kilometer completed, Guinea steps onto the global stage, showing what's possible when vision, partnership, and determination come together. The Simandou Railway is set to shake up the global iron ore market. For decades, Australia and Brazil dominated supply and pricing. Now Simandou's 120 million tons of high-grade ore will introduce real competition. China gains leverage, reducing reliance on traditional suppliers and insulating itself from geopolitical shocks. Simandou's ore is more efficient and environmentally friendly, aligning with China's emissions goals. Steelmakers worldwide will have a new supplier, shifting bargaining power. The market's old structure is breaking. Guinea is now a major player. This is more than commerce. It's a strategic shift in global resources. For Guinea, Simandou is a historic economic opportunity. Billions in revenue could fund schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. The railway and mine are creating tens of thousands of jobs and new skills. The corridor could boost agriculture and connect remote regions, diversifying the economy. But risks loom: environmental damage, social disruption, and the threat of corruption. The resource curse is real. Will Guinea's institutions ensure wealth benefits all? The project's promise is immense, but so are the challenges. Guinea stands at a crossroads between prosperity and peril. The Simandou Railway is a strategic move on the global chessboard. By building what the West wouldn't, China proves its capability and influence. This is a flagship Belt and Road project, deepening China's ties in Africa. China's model, state-led, fast, and risk-tolerant, contrasts sharply with Western caution. For African nations, it offers an alternative to Western aid and investment. The railway symbolizes a shift in global power as China rises and Western dominance wanes. The US and Europe watch with concern, seeing China expand its reach. These rails connect more than a mine to a port. They connect Africa's future to China's ambitions. Experts see Simandou as a game-changer. Commodities analysts say it's the only project able to challenge the Australia-Brazil duopoly. More competition means lower prices for consumers, but headaches for existing producers. Geopolitical analysts highlight China's ability to deliver where the West hesitated. For many African leaders, China's track record is proof of reliability. But watchdogs warn, the project's speed and scale demand transparency and oversight. Environmental and social risks must be managed, or the promise could become a curse. Some see this as a wake-up call for the West. If they want to stay relevant, they must adapt. Simandou is not just a Chinese success, it's a challenge to Western influence. The world is watching and learning. The Simandou Railway's steel tracks reflect a new global reality. China's rise as a global builder is undeniable, while Western influence wanes. This project forces us to rethink the international order and the choices facing developing nations. For China, it's a triumph of strategy. For Guinea, a high-stakes gamble. The global market feels the shock as old monopolies break. The railway is a microcosm of shifting power, competition, and cooperation. Its true legacy will unfold over years. Will it lift Guinea, or become a cautionary tale? As the first trains roll out, the world watches a new era take shape. This is more than steel and iron. It's a symbol of a world in transition.